Well, folks, it seems like that Urban Meyer hire turns out to be a urban disaster, man. They fired him. Jaguars, they fired him. Man, I hate to see anybody get fired from their job, but also when someone gets fired or let go from their job, you have to look at the why and the reasons why he or she got fired. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when the Jaguars hired him as their coach, like, I was thinking that Urban Meyer could potentially do what Jimmy Johnson did when he left Miami, the University of Miami, and coached the Dallas Cowboys. I was thinking that he could do what Pete Carroll did after he coached USC and won a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks, okay? But, man, like, he didn't even get through the year. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even get through the year. What are we in? Week 15? Didn't even get through it. And I'm like, wow. I guess the rumors were true. Things were as bad as they say they were. And, a lot of times, people talk about culture and all that, but sometimes I think about, man, like, if they had a real good record, would he have gotten fired? A lot of people are saying that, well, he got fired because he kicked the kicker. Listen, that's more of the icing on the cake, the last straw. But it's a lot of things that led up to this. I mean, if you go back and look at my NFL Week 1 predictions, I actually thought that this young Jacksonville Jaguar team had a chance to potentially win this division. I really did, because I didn't think the Texans were going to do anything. I didn't think the Colts was going to do much. Carson Wentz, was always hurt, but he's actually doing good right now, health-wise and playing-wise. And with the Tennessee Titans, I still didn't really know, like, how to take the Tennessee Titans, whether or not if I should take them serious, whether or not they're going to win the division. I at least saw them as a wild card team, but hey, I was wrong. Hey, I got no problem admitting when I'm wrong. But a lot of things changed ever since I did that prediction. Like, one of the things that changed is the Tebow thing. I had no problem with the Tebow thing because I thought Tebow was going to be able to help influence culture over there. Okay, Tebow, hey, that's one thing we can always say about Tebow, man. Tebow is a very good guy, good role model as far as a person and stuff, all right? I didn't think Tim Tebow needed to be a quarterback and stuff. I thought maybe he could fill the void and be a tight end. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's going to be Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez, or George Kittle or anything like that. But I'm like, maybe he can do something. But nah. Maybe if this was like 7 years ago, maybe he could transition into a tight end. But nah. But that was a risk. And the thing about it is whenever you're trying to develop something, you're going to take some risk, right? And I thought it was worth the risk, I believe. But his other decisions, like the decisions at the bar with the chick that is not his spouse, that's not a good look, especially when you're the coach. When you're trying to get players to believe in a culture, well, you're not practicing what you're preaching, dude. You know what I'm saying? That's something you cannot do. Not saying you have to be perfect, but what you preaching, it has to reflect that with your actions, with your character, what you say, what you do, how you operate off field and stuff, because like a lot of people say, hey man, these are not college kids. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you can even fool college kids like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. People think, well, that's how it is in college and high school. Kids are not dumb. Okay, I know as a 10-year-old, listen, man, I can peep game. It's like, oh, you telling me not to put my hand in the cookie jar, but you always putting your hand in the cookie jar. Now, as a 10-year-old, I'm probably not going to call out a grown-up on that, but it's like, I observe, I see, But the thing about it is when you're dealing with grown men, who have wives, kids, mortgages and all that stuff, payments, bills to pay, you're dealing with grown men's livelihood. Now, the whole kicking with the kicker thing, My only issue with that is that, hey, you can't kick, like, you kick me? Well, I'm going to kick you back. Unless it's something like playful, like, where it's like, okay, he didn't do nothing. And it's like, it's a light, hey man, come on, man, get up. Go ahead, go. It's just like some, I don't know if it was equivalent to like a come slap in the chest. Hey man, I need you to make those kicks. I don't know, but Lambeau, he did say that it was scale of 1 to 10, it was a 5. But see, the thing about it is everybody 5 is different. What's a 5 to me may be a 8 to you. Everybody's pain threshold is different. But hey man, you shouldn't be putting your hands on people. But I really wish Lambeau would have kicked him back, or one of the other players would have saw that and said, hey man, you can't be kicking our kicker, bro. I mean, if he's missing field goals, how is that helping him, kicking him while he's in the middle of a lunge stretch? Have any of y'all ever did a lunge stretch? Yeah, man, like that's the last thing you want is somebody to unexpectedly kick you. So maybe the impact of the kick was a 5, but what could have happened, like in result to, out of in the end result of that, he could have got a groin injury or something like that. He could have fell and like because when you're stretching, you want to stretch properly, but you could have altered his stance to the point where hey man, he might get a groin injury or injure something else, But keep your hands to yourself. And I thought this was something that you didn't have to tell people. When they tell you to keep your hands to yourself, it also means you should keep your feet to yourself as well. All right. I don't know what Urban Meyer is going to do after this. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a college coaching job. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, Darrell Bevell, former Seahawks offensive coordinator, is going to step in his place. Oh, yeah, and Urban Meyer also said his staff is worse than the staff that he had at Bowling Green. Well, let me tell you something, bro. You should have brought your whole freaking staff from Bowling Green then. Like, who from Bowling Green would turn down an opportunity to coach in the NFL? All right? So, I mean, you should have did that. But these are people that you hired, my dude. Unless you didn't hire them, well, that's on you because you are responsible for it, whether if you delegate it to someone or not. But, wow. Jacksonville Jaguar fans, hey, how do y'all feel about Urban Meyer? I haven't heard from any Jacksonville Jaguar fans. We hear from a lot of the national media, but I haven't heard from anybody who's a true Jacksonville Jaguar fan. How do you feel about this? I'm going to be honest with you. Even though y'all going through all that turmoil and stuff, let me tell you something. I still think y'all are better off culturally wise than my Houston Texans. I really do. I really do. But, hey, share your thoughts below. And also, you know what? With all this madness going on, if y'all culture needs help, guess what? We have somebody by the name of Jack Easterby, who's the character development coach for the Houston Texans and the president of the Texans. I really think that, hey, y'all should seek out his services because guess what? He could really help y'all. He could really help y'all for sure. All right. Anyways, hey, share your thoughts in the comment section below and let me know if you're a Jaguar fan or if you're not a Jaguar fan. What do you think about this whole Urban Meyer situation? Did you think he just caught a bad break or do you think, hey, he was the owner of the Jaguars is justified for firing him? Let me know and hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching the YouTube channel, Student of the Game Podcast.